What if you built a glass tunnel through the sun? Let's start with the obvious problem. You can't. The sun's surface is about 6,000 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to melt anything you've ever heard of. The center is around 15 million degrees, which is hot enough to make the word melt feel quaint. If you actually tried to lower a piece of glass into the sun, it would evaporate long before it even got close. But since this is a thought experiment, let's cheat. Let's imagine we have some magical, indestructible glass that can withstand infinite heat and pressure. The tunnel goes straight through the sun, from one side to the other, like a giant straw stabbed through a cosmic orange. Now what? The first question people usually ask is, could you see through it? And the answer is, no. Even if your glass were perfectly transparent, the sun itself is made of plasma, dense enough to scatter light in every direction. You wouldn't see a clear view of space on the far side. You'd see blinding, chaotic brightness everywhere, as if you were standing inside the world's angriest light bulb. Sunglasses wouldn't help. Welding masks wouldn't help. Basically, you'd be staring at the definition of "don't look at this." All right, but suppose you could survive standing at the entrance. What happens if you toss something into the tunnel? Gravity comes into play. The sun has about 333,000 times the mass of the Earth, so its gravity is intense. If you drop an object into the tunnel, it's going to accelerate like crazy. In fact, in the middle of the sun, you'd be moving at over 600 kilometers per second. That's about 2,000 times the speed of sound. Faster than anything humans have ever built. Unfortunately, at that speed, you're not gracefully zipping through a cosmic slip and slide. You're being blasted by plasma that's denser than solid metal. The object would disintegrate instantly, if it weren't already vaporized by the million-degree soup you're falling through. Okay, but let's suspend disbelief a little longer. Let's say you can ride inside this tunnel in safety. Congratulations! You've just built the universe's most terrifying roller coaster. You'd fall toward the center, faster and faster until you hit the middle. At that exact moment, gravity would pull you equally in all directions, so you'd slow down. Then you'd keep moving, coasting upward toward the far side. When you reached the other end, you'd stop for a split second, then fall back again. You'd oscillate, back and forth, like a cosmic yo-yo, forever. Well, not forever. Solar activity, tidal forces, and collisions with stray plasma would gradually sap your energy, until eventually you'd settle in the very center of the sun. Congratulations! You now live in a 15 million degree retirement home. Now let's talk about light. Could you shine a flashlight through the tunnel? The sun's interior is so dense that even photons, the particles of light themselves, take thousands of years to wander their way out. Your flashlight beam would not cut through like a sci-fi laser. It would just scatter and vanish almost instantly. In fact, if you wanted to send a message through the sun, using this glass tunnel would be worse than just sending a radio signal around it. The signal traveling through space would reach the far side in about 8 minutes. Through the sun? Basically never. Of course, this raises another question. Could people travel through it? If you ignore all the physics that would instantly kill you, then yes, it would technically be the fastest route through the solar system. The trip from one side of the sun to the other is about 1.4 million kilometers. Falling straight through, you could make the journey in less than an hour. That's shorter than most transatlantic flights. Airlines would be jealous if they weren't already bankrupt from the competition with magic sun tunnels. And yet, despite how fun this sounds, the tunnel would be useless. The sun isn't solid. It's a boiling convective ball of plasma. The moment you created an opening, it would collapse, fill, and obliterate your carefully engineered glass structure. Solar storms, magnetic fields, and gravitational stresses would crush it instantly. Even if you had indestructible glass, the pressure difference between the vacuum of space and the raging interior would cause constant chaos at the tunnel's entrances. Picture building a drinking straw into a blender that's been running non-stop for 4.5 billion years. So what have we learned? A glass tunnel through the sun would not let you see across space. It wouldn't work as a flashlight or as a shortcut for messages. It would be a terrible way to commute, unless you enjoy being vaporized into plasma mist. But it would be, without question, the wildest ride in the universe. An endless fall through the heart of our star, powered by gravity, fueled by absurdity, and guaranteed to make you regret asking what if in the first place.